Hi there, this is Friday night. I already put something up for today, but this is just a little addendum. Today, I didn't have to watch Spencer during the day, but Mom and Pop went out for a date night, so I watched him from 3 p.m. on. He was cranky, he needed a nap when I got over there. And an afternoon nap is one he doesn't like to take. He just doesn't want to take a nap. He does it like 2 hours in the morning, 1 or 1.5 to something like that. And he really needed some kind of nap or something. And I tried to occupy him, I tried to get him interested in this or that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Then I thought, well, it's close enough to dinner time, so I put him in his high chair, and I warmed up my chicken soup, and I warmed up his. He had like ground beef, sweet potato, and some kind of green. I don't know if it was spinach or what it was. And he did not want to eat. Not at all. He looked at me eating mine. He wasn't really interested in that either, really. But I said, well, you can feed Grandma. So I put my face forward, and he's like, huh? And he starts throwing it on the floor. The dog's under the high chair, so she'll eat it, but he's not supposed to do that. So I'd give him a look. And he didn't know what that meant. And I said, no. If you don't want it, you don't want it. But the doggy eats doggy food, not people food. And he dropped a few more things for the dog, just to be, show you. And then I decided another tactic. So I went up to his dish and I looked in there, and I thought, ooh, that looks good. I'm going to have some. And I picked up a little bit and I put it in my mouth, and I put my tongue out so he could see that it was on my tongue. And he's like, you're not eating my food. And he grabs it and starts shoving it in his face. I had to do that a couple more times. Then I was eating my soup, and he was looking, and I said, you want a noodle? He'd never had a noodle before. He'd had little tiny orzo pasta, but he'd never had a piece of a noodle. So I took a noodle out, and I waved it like this. And then I put it down on top of his bowl of stuff. He looked at it. He held it up. It was weird, He put it in his mouth. He liked it. And I said, you eat some more and you get another noodle. I don't know. I said, I also have pieces of chicken in here, and he loves chicken. So I put a piece of chicken on top of his stuff, and he gobbled that up. And then he decided he didn't want to eat anymore. So then I pulled the old, well, I'll eat it for you. And, oh, no, you don't. And he stuffed his face. And then for dessert, he had yogurt with applesauce or chopped apple on top. He liked that a lot. Then we went outside and we watched cars go by on the street behind us, and it was hot. It's been hot, like 100 and something degrees, over 33 degrees Celsius. And we came back in, and his bed's upstairs, and since Brian's been home, he's been taking his naps upstairs. And Brian says, well, I don't know, Walk. I don't want you falling, up and down the stairs. Went up the stairs with him, put him in his crib, and I laid down on the floor next to the crib. He kind of fussed. He didn't want that. He didn't like that. He wasn't going to have it. And I pretended to fall asleep. Then I was awake, and he wanted to play with my hair. So I'm laying there, and it's low to the ground, so I put my hair in the crib, and he was holding on to it for a while. And then they have this camera system that looks in on him at all times, and it connects to Brian's phone, that it'll tell, if he's taking a nap and Brian's doing something else, it'll go plink plunk whenever the baby's moving around, or if the baby wakes up and is moving around, it'll make his phone go blink blunk. Apparently Brian was watching through the camera, and you can talk through it too. He goes, Hey, Ma. He says, I didn't say something about not going to sleep on the. I said, I'm not sleeping. I had a nap before I came over. I said, I just thought if I lay here. He goes, well, he doesn't like taking afternoon naps. I know that. He says, I would walk back and forth or do whatever else, and then when he gets tired, put him in the bed. Well, he had about 20 minutes of quiet time, which is what Brian had when he was a baby, because he never napped. But I made him have quiet time. So we had quiet time, and Spencer seemed a little more congenial. Then we went downstairs, and he had his supper. Wait a minute, what happened first? No, we went downstairs. I don't know what we did. Anyway, he had some Cheerios and his cup of milk. He can serve himself the Cheerios out of this little cup. He pours out a couple at a time. And I don't know what he was expecting. Whether he expected the TV to be put on. I didn't put the TV on. But he was entertaining himself. And that was fine. And I read a couple stories to him. And that was fine. And then Mom and Pop came back. They went out to some fancy schmancy place in Rancho Cucamonga. Very expensive. Brian thought it would be really nice and romantic or whatever, and the food was not as good as the price. The price is unbelievable. I could buy a week's worth of meat, having meat every night, for what one person paid for one serving. But it was made up for by the chocolate lava cake they had for dessert. Brian said that's the best thing he's ever had in his life. I said, well, I'm glad you had a good time. He goes, I'm sorry, we're so late. I said, that's not an issue. Well, apparently Spencer pooped the last minute, so it makes it look like I let him sit and poop. So Brian changed the diapers, they went for a walk, and then they came home, and I just heard him. He was playing, they were playing, and then we put him to sleep upstairs, and his room's right above mine. For about 20 minutes solid, he was hollering and screaming and crying and screaming, and they'll let him, you know, and I'm like, oh, good Lord. Maybe he's overtired, I don't know. But anyway, it was a nice day. You know, stinking hot. This morning I went out early to get the floor lamp at Walmart, and I get half and half at Walmart because it's cheaper. And I went to Trader Joe's, and I got some more granola that I eat for breakfast, and some butter, and one thing I dropped, and some fellow older guy like my age, and he bends over and he goes, I'll get that for you. And I said, well, thank you. I don't know if that was, I don't know what a come on is or not, I don't know. But it was really nice, and then I stopped at grocery store to get something that they had on sale. They had red grapes on sale, so I'm going to make more chicken salad because it calls for red grapes. And I was in there, and what was it? I was looking for something, and someone else was wanting to be where I was, trying to reach for something. It was another elderly fella. And he says, oh, excuse me. I said, oh, no problem, no problem. And then we not physically ran into each other, but we came across each other in a couple different aisles, and he goes, looks like I'm following you. I mean, he initiated the conversation. It's like, wow, I felt kind of, you know, that's weird, an old person saying that, but I mean, you know, we're people. But it felt good. I could have flirted back, but I had to be home and to be home and rested and things put away before I babysat baby. If I didn't need to be home, I would have struck up a conversation probably with the guy. Both of them looked okay. I guess old people go out early in the morning. So if you're an old person and you're looking to find other old people, go to the store when they first open up. That's when the old people go. I guess because old people get up at 4 or 6 or something in the morning. I don't know. Well, anyway, be that as it may, as my dad used to say, tomorrow's Spencer's birthday. He will be 1 year old. I got a couple balloons for him. One has Elmo on it, and one's a blue star. And they're having lunch or dinner at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Pulled chicken sandwiches, and the brother's bringing potatoes au gratin, and the sister's bringing coleslaw, baked beans, and macaroni and cheese. So I'm going to make green beans, fresh green beans that I got today. I got ingredients to make vegetable beef stew, and I don't use all the green beans up, so I'm going to use some for tomorrow to be cool about it. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if I'll record something tomorrow or not. For I try not to make their life part of my video world. I was asked to discreetly just not, but that's fine. That's cool. I videoed the boy jumping in his jumper, but I only got his legs from the legs down and put Irish jig music to it. It was really cute. That's cool. That's fine. So, that is all. Upward and onward.